Hello. Today we'll try to understand execl function in Linux using C. And this is one of the powerful system called in Linux. So before I explain the syntax, I want you to clearly understand one idea. Execl does not create any new process. Okay. But it replaces the current process with a new program. And this is almost like important line rather in this particular session. When I said it replaces the current process with a new program. Now, definitely there would be a question, then why do we need execl? Let us imagine a situation. Suppose your C program is running. Now, inside your program, you want to execute another program, like say, for example, ls or say date or even who am I. Now, how can we do this? We cannot just call them like a normal C functions. And this is where the exec family comes into picture. So these all functions are said to be exec family functions, mean for executing a file or a program. Execl allows our running program to load and execute another program in place of itself. And it completely removes the old program from memory and loads the new one. Please note here, like when it replaces the old program, only program image is replaced, but process ID remains the same. Now here, like when we talk about execl, this one, like execl function, here L stands for list. It means arguments are passed one by one as a separate parameter. Like one can see there are like parameters like path name, argument, and then multiple arguments can possibly there. So full path of executable would be like path name. Then arg0 or first arg will be usually the program name, and then its arguments can be added one by one. Note here, like the list of arguments should end with null, and that's why it is added here. Okay, you have to add this. Now on success, this function does not return anything. It just executes that other code. But on failure, it returns -1. That means if execl works properly, the next line of code will never get executed. Now let us take a simple example for a while. Okay, so what I will do is I will write my execl execl.c. Now let us write a simple code. As usual, as we are giving call to system call. So hash include stdio.h hash include unistd.h. Fine. Then into main printf. Let us write a printf function containing the message before executing the call for execl. We want this to be printed. Then we will give call to execl function. Inside, we'll write just the path for ls. So this is my executable, and this executable will have parameters like ls, then -l, then null, because we want to end it by this list. And then we'll write printf. Like we are just writing this, okay, to see what happens if that execl executes successfully. We know, like as per the definition of the execl, when we said that it is replacing the code, ultimately our code is containing now this particular printf function after execl call, correct? So this will never get executed because the body would be replaced there. The current body of our function body, like a main function, would be containing this. Our a dot would be containing this whole code. But when execl is called, it would be replacing it, correct? Now let us save this code. Let us compile and execute. So gcc my execl.c. Oh, sorry, I wrote path wrongly. Like I should use backward slash instead of this forward slash because I'm writing path. Correct. And let us execute this. Now you will see here what happened is like this was one first printf that we had before executing the call for execl. And then once it got executed, now nothing is shown here. The next was not shown here. So what is happening here? Like when we executed this code, one can say like when as we are aware, like process would be divided, program when it gets created and executable would be divided into different segments. There is text, there is stack, there is data, and so on. So text segment is replaced, data segment is replaced, stack is replaced, heap is replaced. Everything is replaced by the new program image. What remains is only process ID. But now, for example, if when I execute this, okay, the program would be getting terminated. And it would be difficult for me now to really see whether my executable, which are the executable that I executed currently, like say for this, say for a while this, I would not be able to see in memory using PS command. Now, if at all I have to do this, what can be done? Now let us try to see like if I can use it with the I can stop it for a while. Now if I try to do this like with the way that I'm doing now currently, what I want is I want to execute ls-l pipe less. Correct. Now suppose if I add it here. So I want pipe less, then this. Let me execute and see if I can execute it. Now you will identify like it is not permitting me to make use of that pipeless thing. Correct, because it is not part of my ls command. Pipeless, when I use this, actually it is different than what ls parameters are. So how can I do this then? Like if I want to really see when I say that the main function body would be or main process body would be replaced, PID would be remaining same, but it would be showing something different. Correct. So what we'll do is we'll make some modification and instead of now ls, what we'll do is we'll give call to shell. Correct. Because we want to execute that pipeless. Fine. So let us go into code. I hope you must have understood why this is not working because we know pipeless is not part of my ls parameters or arguments. That's why it is providing me or giving me an error. So let me say like for example here I am adding an integer for a while only to just check. Here I am giving call to that integer for reading that integer %d ampersand I just for the sake of to stop that code for a while and then I will give call to execl and then inside execl what I will do is I will call now shell. Correct. So /bin /sh. This is the code that I'm going to call. Now the command is this sh. Then let us say I want to execute this command. That's why I'm writing C. Correct. Then the command is double quotes ls-l pipe less because this is the whole command that I'm going to execute. Fine. And then towards the end, it is null. Fine. And then we are using after executing call, we'll keep it as it is. So this is our code. So we commented earlier part. Now we are just trying to execute because we want to stop that code. That's why. So let us save this. So to introduce this part, what I will be doing is I will be opening one another terminal here for your reference to actually show you output for this. Fine. So I'm going to make use of ps-cjh command. So let me write here ./a.out. Okay, we have to first compile. So GCC, we executed this code. Then let us execute this because we know now our code is containing one scanf. So it is waiting for our input. So let us try to understand the PID for a dot out. And this is a dot out now, correct? So PID is 7721. Now, when we are passing that shell command, what should happen is this a dot out should get replaced by that call, correct? What are the respective call? Because we are giving shell and shell is calling ls and then further less. Ls would be finishing its execution, so we will be getting terminated, but less would be remaining there, correct? So let us try to give an input here. Let us say I'm giving say 4. Now it is waiting for my input. Now let us go back. Remember, like our PID was 7721. If I fire this, you can see now 7721 remained same. A dot out was replaced by sh, and then sh had called ls dash l. ls dash l executed completely, and it is waiting for like it got terminated, and output was given to less, redirected to less through a pipe, correct? Are given through a pipe to less, and then that's why less is remaining, and because we haven't given any continuation command. So if I again press control or maybe Q, if I go back and check it here again one more time, it is removed, correct? And that's how like what we achieved is we can see like we used execl function and ultimately we got the code replaced over there. Now one can again try this to show you some further aspect. Let us say if I execute this, fine. I'm executing it one more time. So I am getting now 7849. Okay. 2458 to be parent of it. Fine. I'm giving here some code, some data, say 5, and I'm pressing enter. Now it is waiting for this a dot out should get replaced by sh because we are calling sh inside. So 7849 still remains same, and it is sh replaced a dot out by sh, and then respective things are shown with this. So like if at all this we want to combine with fork, that also can be done. Fine. How can we do this? If at all we have to do this with fork, then we have to modify a code. So let us go back and let us quit from it. Let us write my execl fork. I will use to the child. Okay, I will create a child and then I will fire that command to the child. Fine. So I will my execl fork. See. Now here I will make some modifications in my code. So let us remove this. Okay, and we will create a process here, and we want that process to be there. So okay, we'll keep this here as it is. So we have to create process. That's why we will create this structure variable PID with the structure PID underscore T. PID is equal to fork. We are creating a child. So before executing this, we are writing this. So let us say we want that scanf here for a while. Fine. Then we are giving call to fork and we are writing if PID is equal to 0. And in child, we want to replace that child a dot out by something else. Okay, so let us do this. Printf child process slash n double quotes, then call to execl function. Then I am writing slash bin slash say date and date. Right. This is my command. Then we have to end it by null. Okay. Now, if whatever I write would not be executed, correct? We are aware, but let us write that scanf one more time. Though we know that it will not execute, but let us try it. Then curly bracket complete, else printf parent process will not display anything. That's what we want. Correct. So if else is return, and then we just write return 0. Hopefully this will not have any problem or error. Let us compile. GCC by execl port.c. Let us try to see where the problem is. So let us go to line number 27, where it is. So we have to replace this. Save. Right. So that was my mistake. So there is issue. Now it is waiting. So let us see that PS output. One can see a dot out is there. So I am giving input here, say 4, correct? If I check here, now what happened was both the processes got executed. But if you see ultimately what is happening here is like it is saying that I am waiting for something. It showed the date, correct? The date is shown, and ultimately output also of the program was shown to us. If I press enter, it just entered, then our program got terminated. Now, what will happen, like if at all, we could see output of the process, but if I want to stop them, stop the processes to be there, so let us do this. How can we do that? The way that we added scanf there, so let us say we will add that scanf for both the cases. Right? Let us see, like if at all, if it is possible for us to get it, perspective, a dot out. So let us display. We got a dot out. I am giving input 3. You can see now child process, parent process, date was displayed. You can see now the child was created. This bash 81818112 was there. Then we created a child, and in the child we replace a dot out by date. Now before executing date, let us see what happens. So I will skip this code and let me add one more statement over there. Just a statement like before executing this exec. Say I want to print this. Then you will realize what is happening here. So ps-cjh a dot out. Now it is waiting for my scanf. So that means what? A dot out, A dot out. Now this A dot out, second A dot out, this one should get replaced for 8205 by the date. Correct. So let us see. So it terminated. Correct. Output is not shown probably because it executed that part and then terminated it there. And then I am saying B. So that output one can see here. It is gone. Correct. So like we saw, the code got replaced. Right? Let me execute one more time to show you this. Dot slash dot out. Remember the PIDs. Okay, we had 8248. I'm giving 3. It created child 8248 and 8259. I'm giving same input here. Correct. Let me check this. 8248 and 8259. 8248 was gone. Now 8259 is remaining because parent process terminated that part because it took this for that scanf. Okay. And then I'm giving this output. Then child process, if I see 8259 is also gone. correct? And that's how this works. And this is what we mean by execl function. So what we did here is, as a summary process, let me tell you, execl replaces current process. It does not create new process. It needs full path. Arguments are passed as a list. It never returns on success. It is commonly used generally after the fork. So think of execl as loading a completely new program into the same body of a process. The body stays, the brain changes, and that's what execl function is. Thank you.